Hey guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. For this week's events, we have Midsummer is still going on. This is the last week that you can do whatever you need to do in Midsummer for the year. So it will end on July 5th. This week's Torghast will be Beasts of Prodigum. Mythics is the weekly, and there's also been confirmation that season 1 of Mythic Dungeons isn't going away till July 6th, so you have till then to finish your Keystone Master. Also, Dark Moon Fair will start this week. It's not going to be till Sunday. That may be a good one for you to level any characters you're trying to level. I know for me, I'm currently working on my hunter, who I had hoped to actually have done by now, but then Midsummer showed up and I found that I had some toys that I thought I had because my add-on said I had them, but apparently, I don't know about you guys, but my all the things is misbehaving when it comes to the Midsummer event. And yeah, it's telling me that it's all complete when there's like 3 items I haven't bought on it. So yeah, Dark Moon will be good for leveling if you are still doing that. Not that you really need it. I find most of the time I don't even really make sure I'm leveling on a Dark Moon week because the leveling's so good, it's almost a waste of my time to go back and forth for the buff, but it is there. As well as Midsummer, if you, do a little dance around the pole, where all the dailies are, that's also an experience buff. So if you haven't been taking advantage of that, you can definitely take advantage of that right now. And then also on July 4th, there's going to be the Fireworks Festival. That starts at like 10 a.m. on your server, and it will go till 4 a.m. the next day. So definitely, for the most part, runs all day, all night. And that is basically the weekly events. And of course, we have 9.1 showing up. So I guess we should throw that into the weekly events. So 9.1 will be on Tuesday. And there is a long maintenance due to that. It's showing that servers won't be up till around 3 p.m. Pacific. Sometimes that is shortened, but I find on patch maintenance days, typically you're running to at least the time they say. A lot of the time when I notice that it's way shorter than they predict, it's usually just a random regular maintenance day, not a patch maintenance day. So I would say that you're probably definitely looking at a 3 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, so you may want to play something else that day because you won't be able to get in WoW for a while. And yeah, and that's basically the weekly events. As far as goals, my only real goal was to level the hunter. I did get her a couple of levels, but then like I said, I realized that I was missing some stuff from Midsummer, so I've been doing some currency farming to get a couple of the last toys that I need on the vendor. I will continue the hunter, but I'm just not sure how much it's gonna really get done until Midsummer is done. So we're kind of putting the hunter on hold for now. So the goal for this week is to get all the rest of the toys that I need on the vendor, and yeah, that's really the only goal. That is definitely going to persist into the patch week because to me, the Midsummer is actually more important than the 9.1. It's a yearly event. It's not going to come back around again till the next year. And now that I've noticed I'm missing things, 9.1 can wait. It'll be there, right? So of course I'm going to play 9.1, but my main focus is Midsummer right now. so most of our 9.1 gameplay will be on the following week. Yeah, I've got my priorities set, guys. As for accomplishments, I got quite a bit done. Here is my little summary of my achievements for the week. So as you can see, did a lot of Torghast. It's funny because Twisting Corridors, I started right at the beginning. I got the layer 1 and 2 done pretty much right at the beginning. And then I just didn't want to do any for months. Yeah. And then last week, during the weekend, end of the week, I finished it off. So yeah, I'm really glad to have that out of the way. Don't have to worry about that. And it's nice to have it done before 9.1 releases. So that is basically my accomplishments. As you can see, I also did some Maw achievements. I finally knocked out the rest of my rares. So that was nice. And here's the corridor mount for those that have never seen it. And of course, while I've been blabbing, I've been showing you, the footage of the end of the last layer of Twisting Corridors. If you haven't started Twisting Corridors and it's something you want to do, however, keep in mind that it would have to be something you'd want to do because you don't need this anymore. I'm a completionist, so I didn't want to leave it. But very well knowing that I can just use my favorite mount in 9.1 in the Maw, I still wanted that achievement and all that. And more so, I wanted it before you basically didn't need it, So yeah, this is some footage of the progression of it and all that. It went okay, but it is a lot of hours. So that's why I'm saying that if you're not like a huge mount collector, I wouldn't suggest it because there's 8 layers. Each layer is going to take you, I'd say, 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, you do the math there and you're looking at pretty much a 24-hour commitment to being able to do all 8 layers. And honestly, that all really depends on you if you're soloing or your group if you're doing the layers with other people. Definitely, I'd suggest a group. I did solo some of it, and soloing definitely was longer. So if you have a group, it will go faster. Anyway, that covers my accomplishments. And like I said, this week's goals is going to be midsummer. So let's get over to the news. The Nvidia driver, as you guys may know, for those that haven't quit WoW, we had to roll back the version quite a while ago. I remember doing it in stream, like near the beginning of Shadowlands. So this is a fix that definitely took some time, but it is done. You may remember that in WoW, your trees were like flickering and all that. I actually didn't even notice until I went out to Revendreth. Revendreth was like a fucking light going on pretty much. Like the trees out there are so graphical, I guess. Yeah, so you definitely would notice it if you were out there more than anywhere else. So in your settings, you can go swap it back to DX12. For those that were unaware of a fix for this, just for future reference, anytime this happens, you just go into the settings and drop it down. Like when this happened, I went into the settings and I put to DX11. And yeah, so that is how you can fix it. So if this problem ever occurs again, you know how. And yeah, so that's a nice fix. Nice to be able to go back to the DX12. Okay, next piece of news, Korthia. So as you guys may know if you watch my videos regularly, I've put out some chapter videos of the new campaigns. I've talked a bit on the skips and all that. So just to kind of recap a bit, there will be skips so that you can go straight into the new campaign. There are requirements for that. So the requirements is that one of your characters must have completed chapter 2, which is the Torghast chapter. And it's the one where you first meet Venari and you rescue Bane from Torghast and all that. So it will end with the Prison of the Forgotten, and that quest says take the object back to Venari, and that is basically your requirement to get into the Chains of Domination quest line. There's a couple of skips here. So the first skip is to skip the chapter 2 of the Covenant campaign. That way you're not forced to do Torghast on all your alts in order to get into Korthia, which is nice because, you know, I've forced all my characters to do the Maw because at the time Love is in the Air was around and I needed them out to do some stuff. The second skip is in the Korthia quest line, so it'll allow you guys to skip ahead to chapter 3 in the Chains of Domination campaign, which skips all the introduction Korthia quests. Next up, we have the Legendary. So there's been a lot of talk on the Legendary. A lot of people mad. I really could care less. A lot of people are mad because they may have to, you know, recraft their Legendary. The thing is, when you've been playing WoW long enough, you learn to not make silly mistakes like that before a new patch. And you learn to accept the fact that a major patch is going to change the direction of things. So I'm not quite understanding. Like, I get people being mad, but I don't get how they didn't see this coming. You know, it happens. You know, and the biggest thing, and I've told my stream this multiple times, is that you don't make big purchases before the patch, like right before the patch. And I've been hearing people, you know, mention that they had just spent all their stuff crafting a new Legendary, and I gotta giggle a bit at that because that's like the number one thing you never do. The only real exception to this rule is when you know that currency is vanishing. Like Valor, we're going to spend our Valor before 9.1 because it's getting converted into gold, right? But if it's a currency you know is not leaving when the new patch shows up, then you save it. And on that topic, Soul Ash is only really good up to rank 4 anyway, because once you're at rank 5 and 6, you're using this new Soul Cinders. So, yeah. And I actually made 2 Legendaries. I did it way before, you know, sockets and stuff, but, you know, for the 9.1 stuff. But my Mythic group needed a healer. And I wanted to run with the best in slot healer Legendary. So I actually have a like max rank Boomkin Legendary and a max rank healer Legendary. And I didn't even use the healer Legendary for very long because it was shortly after making it that all of a sudden people weren't logging in much anymore, which I knew was the case, but it's my guild. I do whatever needs to be done to help the guild members. But just thought I'd add that, you know, and I'm not even pissed about it. I still have it. It just kind of sits there, and if one day I decide to use it, it's there. But to me, Soul Ash is just Soul Ash. Like, who the fuck cares? If you run out, you just go get some more. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not like it's hard to run those Torghast. Like, yeah, maybe it's boring, but it's not fucking hard. You can do it pretty fast. So you'll be able to upgrade your legendary to rank 5 and 6 in 9.1. This is going to upgrade it to a 249 if it's rank 5 and a 262 if it's rank 6. And Soul Cinders will be the currency instead of Soul Ash. And they still come from Torghast. And Torghast is getting some additions, of course, for 9.1. So you're going to need to clear some higher layers, and those layers are going to be between 9 to 12. A Vestige of Origins is another item that will be involved in the crafting. And there's also Tomb of Origins, which on use says, teaches you how to craft a Vestige of Origins, a powerful optional reagent that increases the level of a legendary base item. So that is how you can get your Vestige of Origins, and that is Duchess Minx in Korthia that will have that. You need to be Honored Reputation, and you can buy it for 2,000 Stygia. Also worth noting that this can also be crafted. Here's an example. This is the jewel crafting for a Vestige of Origins. So you can see the materials that are needed for that. Blacksmith can also make it. It takes 40 lacestrate ore, 15 Shalgast, and 40 Korthite crystal. Leather working, it takes 2 heavy desolate leather, 15 callus hide, 70 pallid bone, and 40 crystal. And tailoring, it will take 400 lightless silk, 400 shrouded cloth, 75 penumbra thread, and 40 of the crystal. As far as how do you get the Korthite crystal, these can be dropped from rares and treasures that are found out in Korthia. Over here's your Soul Ash and Soul Cinders guideline for your legendaries. So if you are just starting out, you can go off this, the whole way to see what you need for each rank of your legendary. So as for the Soul Cinders, they do drop every week. And it's said that you can earn up to 510 Soul Cinders per week once all your Torghast layers are unlocked. You'll get between 60 to 360 Soul Cinders from completing layers 9 to 12 in both wings of Torghast. 50 Soul Cinders from the weekly Tormentor of Torghast event that is in Korthia, and 100 Soul Cinders from the bi-weekly assaults that are in Korthia. So basically, with those numbers, it's said to take a little over 2 weeks for your rank 5 legendary, and a little over 3 weeks to have enough to go straight to rank 6. Also, on the topic of the legendaries, in patch 9.1, there are sockets applied to those legendaries. So Blizzard did announce earlier this past week that newly crafted helms, necks, bracers, belts, and ring legendaries will automatically be crafted with a socket in patch 9.1. Timewalking got a little bit of a change. So there are now going to be some unobtainable classic recipes that you can get through your Cataclysm Timewalking. This is a list of them right here. And I thought this was pretty cool to bring some of these back. Greater Arcane Protection Potion is alchemy. And then those, lean venison, big bear steak, and lean wolf steak, that's cooking, obviously. The Ice Deflector is engineering. Robe of Winter Night is tailoring. And the Storm Shroud pieces on there are all leather working. Okay, so for the next portion of this video, I figured we'd talk a bit on the Mythic Pluses. I did talk on the raid topic last week, so if you're interested in the raids and the unlocks and all that, I will link that video at the end of this one, and then you can just go to the timestamp for the raids. But for this one, we're gonna kind of go over Mythics a little more. Okay, so Mythic Plus for Season 2. As you guys may know, we are going to have a rating system that's like an in-game rating system. It's not Raider.io or anything, but follows kind of the same suit as that. So basically, it's 37.5 rating for completing a keystone. Each keystone level will add a 7.5 rating to it. And each affix adds an additional 7.5 rating, with the seasonal affix of Tormented adding 15 rating. You can receive a time bonus on this or a penalty depending on how fast or slow you complete the keystone. You can earn up to 7.5 points by being up to 40% faster than the keystone timer. Also, you can lose up to 15 points if you're 40% slower than the keystone timer. And keystones that are hugely over the time will reward a 0 score. So you definitely want to try to beat the time with these. So this little table that I've got showing on the video right now with the key level and the mythic rating, that is calculated prior to time bonuses and penalties. So that's just a basic rating there to go off of. Okay, so when going into premates to find groups, this is basically what they'll see. So if you're like myself and many others that have used Raider.io for your mythics, this will look very familiar because this is pretty much exactly how the Raider.io goes. The only real difference that I see is missing is that they typically show how many, 15s you did or how many, 10s or under 10s, stuff like that. Or higher than 15. So this one is close. As you can see, it is showing the level 18 in brackets. It's showing the points for that dungeon. The only thing it isn't really showing is the best dungeon. That's one thing I always really liked with Raider.io is how they have the best dungeon you did out of all of them based on time, and level and all that. So, but you never know, that may come into the picture. The only thing I'm wondering here is, do we remove Raider.io? I have had it for so long. I've had Raider.io since Legion, and I've never really removed it, but I guess I'm wondering, is there still a reason for Raider.io if there's this in-game scoring system now? I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'm trying to decide, and I'll probably still use it for the first little bit until I figure out whether there's a point in still using it or not. But nonetheless, this is what it'll look like. Now, for those that plan on doing their Keystone Master, this is the mount you'll get. It is basically just a reskin of the Season 1 mount. As for item levels, these are the item levels here. So as you can see, just doing a Mythic +2 is going to get you what a lot of us are wearing right now for gear, which is a 226. In dungeon will be a 210. Yeah. So honestly, if you are a person that does mythics fairly regularly and you keep up with your gear, I would definitely try to aim for a 5 at minimum when 9.1 launches the new season, just because, you know, that would be your upgrade. You know, like, yeah, that's what's higher than a 226. Yeah. And I guess if you want what's higher than a 226 in dungeon, then you're definitely going to want to try to be intense as soon as you can. And the last thing I'd like to talk about regarding the Mythics is the Valor upgrades. So here is a chart, and as you can see, the 7/12 is sitting at the 229. It's going to cost 600 rating, and you can read the rest below there. So that is the rating you're going to need to be able to upgrade those. I know I said I would just link the video for the raids, but we're talking item level. I might as well just show you. So here is a quick little guideline of the item level in the new raid Sanctum of Domination. Shows LFR, normal, heroic, and mythic. But definitely if you want to learn more on what's up with the raids, you can definitely check out that video. Okay, so now as for some unlocks and stuff, there's been a recent post posted a few days ago by Blizz that went over that. So Season 1 for PvP will end at 10 p.m. Pacific on June 28th. After that time, there'll be an off-season state until Season 2 begins, with the weekly reset on July 6th. During the off-season, players can still participate in PvP activities and earn conquest, but off-season efforts will not have any impact on seasonal rewards. Keep in mind that conquest will be reset to 0 on July 6th. Honor will not be reset. For raiding, Castle Nothriel will be open and available for raiders to take their last shots at earning the ahead of the curve and cutting edge achievements until the weekly reset on July 6th. The new Sanctum of Domination raid will open for normal and heroic on July 6th, and Mythic and Raid Finder July 13th. Also, keep in mind that not all of Raid Finder will be available on July 13th. Let me just swap to my community tab. I posted it all there, so you can do the same if you want. So July 13th will be LFR Wing 1, July 27th, LFR Wing 2, August 10th, LFR Wing 3, and August 24th is LFR Wing 4. And like I said, if you're curious of those dates, it is on my YouTube channel. It's posted in the community tab. Okay, so for dungeons, the Season 1 Mythic Plus achievements, Keystone Conqueror for finishing all dungeons in time at level 10 or higher, and Keystone Master for 15s, will remain available, be earned until Season 2 begins on July 6th. Don't forget, spend your Valor before July 6th if you want to. All Valor will be converted to gold at that time. The new dungeon, Tazavish, the Veiled Market, will open on July 6th. Be reminded that Great Vault rewards each week are based on activities for the previous week. This means that when you access the Great Vault after the weekly reset on July 6th, it will offer Season 1 rewards. The first Season 2 offerings from the Great Vault will come after the weekly reset on July 13th. I have already spent all my Valor. I went and upgraded pretty much everything, so I am like set. Yeah. The conversion to gold, it really isn't that much. Yeah. So, if you can upgrade it, definitely upgrade it for sure. And that basically covers this week's WoW Weekly with Myst. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have fun in 9.1 for those that plan on playing it. I will definitely be playing it. You guys know me, right? Like those that have been watching my videos, you know I'm playing WoW till the day I die, pretty much. so yeah, it honestly, it really does help to like more than one thing in the game. I feel like those who have gone over to Final Fantasy or other games, it's because they just don't do a whole lot in WoW. So when that one main thing that they do in the game isn't really getting updated, or it's getting updated with things they don't like, it's natural that they would leave, you know? So yeah, it definitely pays to enjoy multiple aspects of World of Warcraft for sure. Whatever game you're playing, you know, I just hope you guys are having fun. And I'm really hoping people are still playing WoW, because I do make WoW content. So, and that won't change, right? Like I'm a hardcore WoW player. I'm not like most of these other people that go over to other games. Like I've tried. I tried in BFA. I tested out Final Fantasy. I pretty much immediately disliked it. And I will admit that with the hype lately, I was like, maybe they've changed something. Maybe there's something I'm not realizing. But no. I walked in there and it was immediate dislike again. So that has kind of told me that, you know, twice I've tried and it's been pretty much immediate not liking it. So I am 100% not going to Final Fantasy. So for those that are here for the WoW content, welcome. And yeah, I hope you continue to enjoy the content, because yeah, BFA was actually the first time I ever like really thought about going to another game. And yeah, now when I think about it, I just play a Mario game for a week and then come back, basically. Yeah, because I know deep down WoW is my baby, and nothing's gonna ever replace it. So with that said, I will end the video. Good luck going after everything you need to get done before 9.1. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.